Let's learn about MySQL. Before we move to learn about queries, you should install the MySQL server and workbench, right? Open your browser and search for the MySQL server, right? Select it. You can select your version and you can select your operating system and download MSI installer from here, right? Okay, download and install it. Okay, I already have, right? Then search MySQL workbench, right? Go. Now you can select your operating system, right? And you should download this and install it. If you have encountered any problems while installing it, comment here, right? SQL stands for Structured Query Language, right? It is a language used to communicate with the database. In short, we can say SQL used to store, retrieve, update and delete data in databases, right? Normally, SQL helps us get data, add data, change data and remove data, right? When a user wants to get some information from a database file, they can issue a query, right? The result of the query will then be stored in the form of a table, right? The program will go through all the records in the database file and select those records that satisfy the condition, right? SQL queries are grouped based on what they do. First one is DDL. It stands for Data Definition Language, right? DDL is used to create or change database structure, right? Example codes are create, alter, drop, truncate, etc., right? The next one is DML, right? It stands for Data Manipulation Language. DML is used to work with data inside tables, right? Example codes are insert, update, delete, etc., right? Data changes, not structure. Okay. The next one is DQL. It is standard for Data Query Language, right? It is used to fetch data. Example code is select. It is most used SQL commands, right? The next one is DCL. It stands for Data Control Language. It is used to control access or permissions, right? Example codes are grant and revoke. It is about security related, right? The last one is TCL. It stands for Transaction Control Language. It is used to manage transactions. Example codes are commit, rollback, save point, right? It is used in banking, payments, etc., right? SQL keywords are not case sensitive. This select is the same as this select, okay? We can use both, right? Some database systems require semicolon at the end of each SQL statement, like this, right? This is the SQL statement, right? Semicolon is the standard way to separate each SQL statement in database systems that allow more than one SQL statement to be executed in the same call to the server, right? Let's learn queries. You can see this is a statement, but show is a query, right? Okay. Let's talk about MySQL data types, right? What are MySQL data types? Data types define what kind of data column can store. Example, number, text, data, etc. Right? First one is numerical data type. Right? Numerical means numbers. Okay. First one, int. You know, int represents whole numbers, right? Then float. Float represents decimal numbers, right? Double. Double represents large decimal numbers, right? And decimal represents exact decimal. Okay. These things are used for marks, age, price, quantity, and etc. Right? The next type is string or characters, right? Normally represent text. Okay. We have three types: char, varchar, and text. Right? Char represents fixed length text. Right? Varchar represents variable length text. Right? Text represents long text. Right? N represents the character limit of the string we want to store. Right? If you have a column set to char 10, right? Storing the word apple results in apple 5 letters and 5 spaces. Okay. Storing the watermelon. Watermelon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Right? Storing the watermelon results in watermelon. Right? Okay. Remember, use char when you are 100% sure that every entry in that column will be the exact same length. If the length will vary, varchar is almost always the better choice to save disk space, right? The next one is date and time data type, right? Date represents year, month, date format, right? Time format is hours, minutes and seconds, right? Date time, it represents date and time both, right? Time is stamp, auto time record, right? Okay. This data type is used for birthdays, login time and records, right? The next one is Boolean data type, right? Query is Boolean, right? MySQL stores it as 0 or 1, right? We have special data types, enum and block. Enum represents fixed list of values. Block can represent images and files, right? Open your SQL command line. Now you must give your password which you gave while you were installing SQL and enter. Right. And using the show query, we can see already created databases list. Right? Show databases. Put the semicolon at the end of the statement. Right? Like this, and enter. Now you can see the databases we have, right? Open your workbench. It has these databases, right? Using these commands, we can update, insert, and view data without needing to open the workbench, right? Okay. Using create database statement, create database. Now you should give a name to the database, right? Example. Put the semicolon and enter. Query is okay. Now go to workbench and refresh. Now you can see the database we have created. Okay. Now I want to create a table in the example database, right? How we can do this? The use command selects the database where you want to create your table, right? Now you should give the name of the database where you want to create a table. I want to create table in example database, right? And semicolon, enter. See, now we can create a table inside the example database, right? Let's create a student table with these things, right? We have to use this statement for this, right? Let's start. Create table. Now you should give the name to your table, right? I give it student. Right. Now open parenthesis and enter. First, we should provide the column name followed by the data type of the data, right? Student ID is the column, right? Type it. Then we should give its data type, right? It should be primary key. I give it int, right? It should be int. Okay, then data, it should be a primary key, right? Therefore you should give primary key like this, right? And comma, enter. Okay, then next one, email must be unique, right? Email, it should be varchar, right? Okay, and give the limit for that. I give it 50. Then you should put unique keyword, right? Like this. Now email should be unique, right? Then next column is name, right? Name should be varchar type. And 20 is the limit, and not null. Okay, keep the space between not and null. Wait, like this, right? And come on. Then next one, not null mean we can't keep name empty, right? It should be integer, right? See? Okay, then type, next column like age, it should be integer type, and comma. Next one is active. Give the data name active. Then it should be boolean, right? Our data type is boolean, like this. And don't put the comma, right? Close parentheses and put the semicolon at the end of the statement, like this, right? And enter. Query is okay. Let's open Workbench. Refresh. Okay, go to the example and press table. Student table is created. Open it. Now you can see the columns, right? Okay. Now click on these and go to the column tab. Now you can see our data and data types, right? Okay. Using this statement, we can insert values into the table, right? These are the values, right? Let's try. Now, insert into, give your table student and values, right? Values, parentheses. Now insert your values, right? 1 inside the inverted commas. You should add your mail, right? isuri@gmail.com. And comma. Next one is name. 0, comma, next one is age. Boolean value, I give it as true, right? And comma, open parenthesis again, to what is the mail? Mail is alex@gmail.com. Comma, put the name, I think Alex, right? Then give the age 22. Boolean value is false, right? Close parenthesis and comma. Next one. Three, put the mail nimal@gmail.com, right? Next, put the name, it should be nimal. Insert the age 20. Boolean value is true. Check your spellings, huh? Okay. And put the semicolon and enter. Query is okay. Let's open workbench. Right. Refresh it. Go to example and tables. Leave student. Now you can see our data, right? Okay. We can use this statement if the table has exactly 5 columns and values are in the same order as the table columns, right? Okay. When this works, columns count is equal to value count, right? And order of values is equal to order of columns, right? All constraints are satisfied. Let's see. You can see that column count and value count are equal, right? You can see we have 5 columns and we have 5 values, right? Okay. The order of values and the order of columns are equal, right? Data corresponds to the order of the column. We never shuffle data in columns, right? Okay. You can't insert student ID 1 into the age column, right? You can't mix these things, age and student ID, right? Okay. We have another method to insert data. Let's insert values from this method, right? How can we insert into student? Now give the columns names, right? Okay. First one is student ID. underscore id. Check the column's name with this, right? Okay. Next, email. And name and age and is active. Alright, close parenthesis. Now values, right? Okay, now insert values, right? Student ID 4 and email. Give the email. I give it as this 3@gmail.com, right? Okay. Next thing is name. Trimal, right? Next, put the age 26 and give the false, right? And close parenthesis and put the semicolon at the end of the statement like this and enter. Right, query is okay. Then refresh this. Now open the student. See, it is inserted, right? Okay. Each row is separated by a comma. See, this is first row, second row, third row, likewise, right? Okay. You can see MySQL stores Boolean values as 1 or 0 internally, right? See, if it is true, it is stored 1, right? Okay. Unique means data can't be repeated, okay? In this case, email is unique one, right? Let's try drop it, okay? Break it. Insert into student values now 5 I give isuri at gmail.com again, right? Come on. And give the name Nisha, come on, 25 and true. Okay, close parenthesis and put the semicolon at this end of the statement. Let's enter. See, error. We can't repeat email because it is unique one, right?